The rand is firming against major currencies in early trade. It was at 16 rand 68 to the dollar, nearly 1% stronger than its previous close. For more on the latest market moves, we're joined by Karl Gevers, portfolio manager at company founder at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Karl, thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. A good start to the day.
Yeah, good afternoon. The morning, positive morning. The JSE also in the green, up about 1.65% currently, mainly driven by the industrial sector, which in turn is driven by Naspers and Process that have been up this morning about 4% each on the back of a positive day in China for Tencent. And then on the negative side, the resource sector being weighed down by the golds and platinum counters that have come under a bit of pressure. But as you said, the rand trading firmer, there's no domestic data that's really impacting it today, mainly driven by global factors. And in this case, a reduction in tensions between China and the US on that visit of Pelosi that was pretty uneventful.
Right. South Africa's Purchasing Managers Index edged higher to 52.7 in July, a slight improvement there and completely different from ABSA's BER PMI reading.
Yeah, certainly it is a bit contradictory to what the ABSA PMI number said. The S&P Global PMI number pointing to one of the strongest private sector growth periods since May last year. And mainly tracking, being on the back of new orders, output, and unemployment following that. So I think if one compares it to the ABSA PMI number that we saw a couple of days ago, which actually showed a different picture, a bit of contraction and slight decline in confidence and business growth, I think it might indicate that in terms of timing, this positive, indication by the S&P might be short-lived, given that businesses and consumers will probably start reining in spend on the back of that inflation expectation.
In company news and staying with ABSA, they've released their statement for the 6 months ending 30 June. Help us make sense of their performance.
Yeah, so just a trading statement narrowing their guidance on the headline earnings per share that they expect for the financial year to June. So the increase there narrowing to expectation of 27% to 32% increase in headline earnings per share, which is from last year's number of 9 rand 68 or 86, to between 12 rand 52 and 13 rand and 2 cents. The expectation there is that the increase there is mainly on lower credit losses, and also an improved net interest margin on the back of the higher interest rates, and also a mix in terms of their loans and deposits. It's trading at a pretty attractive forward PE of 6.2. Even if the growth outlook isn't that great, it does look attractive, and it's up 1.5% today.
The Public Investment Corporation is set to make a 1.65 billion rand equity investment in multilateral finance institution, the African Finance Corporation. How should we understand that move?
Yeah, so the PIC does have a mandate to invest on the continent, and in this case partnering with the Africa Finance Corporation, which invests in the continent's infrastructure and industrial development opportunities. I think in terms of the PIC, it is a diversification effort, and added to that a social impact, because it's focusing on African infrastructure that should improve lives of the citizens of the continent. They do also invest, or at least the Africa Finance Corporation does also invest in South Africa as one of the countries that they do cover. For example, the recent Lekela power transaction into renewable energy in South Africa. So it's a big number in terms of 1.65 billion, but it's still less than 1% of the PIC's assets under management. So yeah, I would see it as a diversification effort there.
Karl Gevers, portfolio manager and company founder at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Thank you.